So it has been a while since I've been on here. However, there has been a lot that has actually happened. So a lot has changed. And I think the last time I uploaded a video was maybe a year or two ago. And that was just when my little one Issa was born and COVID hit. And after that, I kind of just stopped making videos, and it was a bit of a crazy whirlwind. So let me just get you up to speed so you get where I'm coming from. Since that time, I did start a business. So he was probably 5 months old, and I started my own business. We had a flat, a duplex apartment in London, and we moved to Oxford during COVID with my parents because they lived in the Cotswolds, and it was just like, you know, lots of land, and it was easy for the boys. They could, like, you know, run around in the fields, and it was just really nice to go on walks all the time and just have that time with family in such a horrible, moment in time. And then after that, my husband's family is from Manchester. So we then went up to Manchester in the hopes of actually purchasing a property up there. We put down about 15 offers. And if anybody else went through the same, I don't know how you guys did it. But about 15 offers on properties, and they all went over asking price. Now, I have no idea what was happening at that time, but apparently during COVID, loads of people had money. Now, it might have been those bounce back loans and all of that everyone got through, but people were buying property way over the asking price, and it was just crazy. So we got, overbid so many times, if that's even the word. But yeah, it was kind of one of those things where we were like, oh, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. We were basically like travelers. Felt like we were travelers. We had moved everything from our London property in boxes was in Manchester. So we did a bit of time in my mother-in-law's. My parents then, during that time, moved from the Cotswolds up north. My sister also moved up north because me and my husband were going up north. So it was a bit of a chaotic time because everybody else got a property. My sister got her property. My mum and dad got their property. But me and Zahid, for some reason, were not able to get a property. And this is where I always say, like, God always has a plan. Like, he always has a plan, alhamdulillah. And everything works out for the best if you, like, fully, put your faith in God and leave it to him. And then at that time, Zahid got an offer from a company in Dubai. So, he ended up moving in August, and he went all the way to Dubai on his own, actually Abu Dhabi, and he was working remotely. So he was like working from Abu Dhabi for a Dubai company. But essentially, after he went there in August, he came back in September, and he was kind of like, you're going to love it. I was so skeptical, and this is where a lot of these videos are coming in, because a lot of people are moving from the UK and Canada and places like that to Dubai. So lots of European countries as well are moving to Dubai. And I just thought it would be a great idea for me to get on here, because I do have this platform anyway, and a lot of you follow me who are mums and who have young children. Majority of my clients that move from the UK or Canada are all talking about the schools, the safety, and the cost of living and the standard of living as well. So that's like the main reasons why people are moving. So I just wanted to sort of do these videos, and hopefully from this do like a series on moving to Dubai and the things to think about. If you're new to this channel, do go and follow, and I will be doing a series of these in the next coming weeks, so you'll be able to see our process and what we did and how you can actually move as well. And what you're, if you've got a different situation or you want to do a business or something like that, there's definitely something where we can help. So that's the other thing. I started my business. So while we were doing this whole move, so Zahid had moved over, going back to the story, he had moved over to Dubai in August, came back in September, and he was like, you gotta come. And we were like, no, because I had this perception, like many people, that Dubai was very backwards. It was very materialistic. There was a lot of just fake stuff going on. And it's kind of like everything of that is perceived from the media and everything that people tell you. And, it's very strict on women and da-da-da-da. So I was kind of very skeptical about coming. So we went over in September for a holiday. So we spent, I think it was 2 weeks. So we spent a week in Abu Dhabi and a week in Dubai. So we had a week in Abu Dhabi with Zahid where he was living. So his sister also lives out here. So we were just with them, kind of experiencing what life would be like here. Then we went to Dubai and we had a holiday at the Palm, the Atlantis Palm. We stayed there for a week and the boys loved it. It was really nice, and I was kind of like, is this what, because I remember sitting, it was in the Atlantis, the kids area. I was just sitting there and I was thinking, I was looking around and I was like, there's lots of locals here and there's lots of people that live here that are here. So is this actually what life is like for people here? Like, is this what they do on a daily basis? Because if it is what they do on a daily basis, I mean, I'm all in. And he was kind of like, yeah, this is kind of, you know, he was here for a month and he said he's been to Ferrari World, he's done this, he goes to the beach on a Friday, has fish and chips at the beach, like loads of different things that you just would not do in the UK or would not have the opportunity to do in the UK. So I was kind of like, okay, went back to Abu Dhabi and I was like, you know, you go to the petrol station, someone fills up your car, you go to the grocery store, someone puts your bags in the car. Like, it was, the service here is just incredible and the way they make you feel is lovely. And it was kind of like, okay, let's see if this is gonna work for us. So anyway, we moved out in November. Like, me and the boys physically moved out with all our stuff. We had things in containers shipping over from the UK here. And the reason for that was because the villa next to my sister-in-law became available and we were like, perfect, let's get that. So when we came, this is when I want to go through the experience of actually moving here, because when we actually did come, the villa we had was empty, like empty walls, everything was empty, and they were still fixing it up from the previous tenants. So they put in new doors, new flooring, they painted all the walls again. So they literally make it all new for you before you move in. So that was really nice. However, that did mean we were probably homeless for about 3 or 4 weeks. So we stayed in hotels for 2 weeks, or 1 week, I think it was. And then it was like the Ferrari time when, you know, Formula One stuff happens. And then at that point we were kind of like, what do we do now? Because all of the hotels, everything was booked out. Everything was booked out. And I was kind of like, oh my God. So this is what you have to do when you have a business. You constantly have messages. Anyway, everything was booked out. And it was kind of like, oh crap, what are we going to do? So we then moved in with my sister-in-law, waited for the properties to come available. I think I was checking in every day. As soon as we got the keys, we moved in and we were on the floor. The container didn't arrive, we didn't have anything. So we just had mattresses that we had purchased and we were on the floor for a good couple of weeks until everything came. So yeah, it was an absolute manic journey, but where we are now, it's so comfortable and so nice, and there's so much I can talk about in terms of Dubai and Abu Dhabi and the UAE. So I'm hoping if anybody has any questions or is thinking about moving, put some comments down below about what you want to see and what you want to know a bit more of, and I'm happy to do those videos and get that information out to you, because the situation in the UK is a little difficult at the moment, especially if you want to sort of raise your children in a certain way, and agendas and things like that are forced upon people now, which is not, you know, freedom of speech and all of that, whatever it is. I don't want to get into it. Please, anybody that doesn't agree, move on. I'm fine for you not following my page. But for me personally, the safety element in the UK, how safe I feel like my children are and what I'm teaching them is going to be adhered to and respected. And that's where we lie, really. And that's one of the main reasons why we've moved to the UAE, as well as the tax incentive. My husband got a crazy bonus before we left, and the tax was ridiculous. And I think that's what pushed him over the edge. In terms of moving abroad, because he was just kind of like, what the hell am I doing? Paying all this tax to the government for what? Like, we don't even get our bins taken out on time. So yeah, things like that, it's just, you know, builds up. But anyway, that's where we're at. I now also have a business set up in the UAE. So I've got a business in the UK and in the UAE, and we deal with primarily accountancy and bookkeeping. And out here, we also do company setups, residencies and visas and things like that. So if it is something that you want to do, hopefully this will help as well. And I'm on this journey of kind of like excelling myself in life and just showing my kids that we can do it. So, you know, we don't come from a lot. We weren't born into money. We didn't have loads growing up and anything like that. But I just feel like we want to be able to show them that you can make it and you don't have to have anything to make it. I started my business with zero. I had no money in the bank account. I was on my own doing it. I had no help from anyone. And I just want to sort of help and show and motivate other mums out there or other people out there who are looking to do business and who are looking to succeed. Just simple tips and tricks on how to do it. So if you have anything that you want to see, let me know as well. Put them in the comments, because it is something that I'm interested in as well, and it will just open the door up for conversation, which is great, because I think a lot of people on here are mums and a lot of people on here are Muslims who can relate, and I think it will help us kind of like develop. Now, I'm not saying that everything out here in the UAE is positive. There are some negatives, and I will touch on those in other videos, but this is more of just a catch up with me and see where I've been. So yeah, hopefully this has been helpful, just so that you know where I'm at and what kind of content you will see going forward. And if there is anything specific, let me know. We are traveling to the UK in a couple of weeks. So there will be loads of travel stuff that I will do as well, because I am traveling again on my own with the kids. I had a horrible time last time, which I will tell you about in detail. And then yeah, well, hopefully we'll catch up soon. Follow for more and follow me on my journey, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care. Bye.